PTM here. What's up? Good afternoon.
How are
How's
you?
it going? I'm wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah. My mood is elevated. The sun's back out after 2 weeks of rain clouds here
It's good, man.
in
You,
sunny
went
Southern
golfing?
California. Huh?
Went golfing yesterday?
Yeah. Hit the links yesterday.
Yeah. How'd that go?
It's good. I have moments. It's hard to string together, I have trouble stringing together like 3 or 4 consecutive good shots,
Right.
But you take what you can get, you cherish that one good drive because you know the next one's going to be not good.
In the woods.
Yeah. But it was fun. It was
Good.
beautiful. Fresh air, shorts, t-shirt. It was nice. Felt good.
That's awesome.
We got a nice, we got some exciting stuff coming up.
Yeah. Yeah. Big trip to Vegas. So
Vegas trip, baby.
we will be doing the pod together for a couple days. So that'll
First
be fun.
time ever coming to you live from the win.
But let's talk about what happened yesterday.
Do we have to?
Well, there was some good and there was some bad, right?
Yes,
The bad
yes.
was we were, kind of victims of the hook again, which has been a bit of a theme.
Yeah.
So went 1 and 3 on our posted picks. Scotty Barnes finished with 14. So that was sad when he was supposed to get 15. And Trey Jones also
Made a late push there.
made a late
but-
push, but couldn't get there. So
No.
and Harden was just a complete dud. I was we were both all over that. So,
A lot of people were on him yesterday, I saw.
but on the flip side, Dame, who was probably our most confident pick, we
Yep.
put him in the straight picks, and the big boy, he nailed that 40-pointer. So that was a plus 500 hit. So if you
Yeah.
look at total units, maybe it's a wash for the day. But
It's
but
nice
overall,
hitting those big boys.
yeah.
What is it about Dame? He's just different. Everybody else has bad games in Denver, and he seems to rise up in Denver. I don't know.
Maybe they'll trade Jamal Murray for him. Interesting thought.
Yeah.
All right, so let's turn the page. Let's look
Yes.
at what do we got tonight. I think there was a 9-game slate. And the
big
cool
one.
thing is, very early on, the props were available for 8 of the 9 games, so that was good. We're still going to focus on the higher scoring games, which is usually what we try to go for, since most of our plays are overs. So we got 5 games, and let's dive into the first one.
Take it away.
I also have some commentary on one of the games that we're not covering, so try not to forget that at the end.
Okay.
Okay.
Which game?
The Memphis Cleveland game.
Okay. Make a note here.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so let's dive into. We got Wednesday ESPN game, so 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. We got the Hawks at the Mavs. Hawks are 22-22 on the season. Mavs are 24-21. Mavs are a very good home team, but the Hawks are starting to catch some heat. Mavs are -2.5. Sharps are on Atlanta +2.5 and under 233.5. What do you like here?
Yes, sir. Matchup wise, you have your best matchup on the board in this game. Bigs versus Atlanta over the last month has just been absolutely crushing. So we're definitely going to look there. Combo guards as well is the number 2 matchup against Atlanta over the last month. And you have one good matchup on the Dallas side. Wings versus the Mavs is also a number 2 matchup for a number 2 wing matchup over the last month. So, I don't know. We haven't had the best of luck with Mr. Christian Wood.
He
But
was
I
popping
think-
though. I
Yeah,
wrote him
he's
down
popping
too.
big time. Bigs have been feasting against the Hawks here. So I guess that's with Capella. Capella's still out, right?
No, he's back.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
back? Okay.
He played. He played last game, but he's not. It looks like they have him coming off the bench. So
Okongwu's been starting. Eh?
yeah, he's not in the starting lineup, and they probably will continue to do that. Yeah, he was out starting the 23rd of December, and then Monday against the Heat was his first game back. He
Oh, I
played
didn't realize that. Okay.
21 minutes, 12 points, 6 rebounds. So he should play
Oh, he
tonight.
only played 20 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, he's like an injury waiting to happen every play, so they're going to probably manage his time. But
right.
yeah,
So,
I don't know if that changes your opinion on the bigs versus.
No, I don't think so, especially given the little bit of playing time. I wasn't sure exactly where to go on this one, so I looked at points and rebounds. We'll start with his points. It's the line's 21.5. It's minus 110. If you look at the 4 games that he's played on the road on 2 days rest this season, his output's been 23, 10, 26, and 23. So 3 of the 4 games he cleared by a good amount. And then just looking at his last 5 games, output 23, 24, 12, 27, 28. So he's a hot hand right now in a prime matchup. So that was definitely one place I looked. The other place I looked was rebounds. His line's 9.5, and it's plus 105. And I wanted to see how Biggs did recently against the Hawks. So just ran through the last few games. You had the last game they played, it was against Miami, so Bam put up 13. Game previous to that, you had Isaiah Jackson on the Pacers put up 10. Then Giannis 18 and Brook Lopez 12 in the same game. Then you had Zubac had 18, and then Thomas Bryant 13. So big, all the last, however 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, last 6 bigs they played all cleared that line. So I think both could be a good bet. I think this with the plus money, plus 105. I don't know. You have a lean on either one?
I don't know. I mean, the points, starting with the points, if you take the 21.5 down to 21, so just down half a point, he goes from hitting that in 5 of the last 10 to 7 of the last 10. So he's actually hit 21 points in two additional games. So I would maybe be inclined to do some sort of parlay with him where you kind of take the points down to 20 and the rebounds to 8, something like that. How does that sound?
I can definitely get on board with that. Did you run those numbers, see what those odds are?
I'm going to. Why don't you said you had somebody on the Atlanta side too, right? The Wings.
I don't. I have one other play on Dallas.
Okay.
So
go through that while I put this together.
Okay. So the other matchup I mentioned earlier was combo guards against the Hawks. So that's Spencer Dinwiddie for Dallas. His line on assists is 4.5. It's minus 150, so not so nice. But on 2 days rest this season, he's cleared that in 7 of 9 games and cleared it by a decent amount. The other one I looked at, if the minus 150 is unappealing to you as it is to me, you could put him with 15 points, which he's done in his last 9 of 10 games on 2 days rest.
Yep.
And 4 assists, which he's done in 9 straight games on 2 days rest, and that's minus 105. So 15 points, 4 assists for Spencer Dinwiddie.
I was actually looking at that same play. He really stands out as a guy who's streaky right now. So
yeah.
Okay.
But did you pull up that Wood one?
I sure did. 20 points and 8 rebounds is plus 110. So,
I think that's the play.
That's the play. Let's see what he's done. Yeah, I mean, again, recency 12. You know, he's in his last 10, he's averaging 9.6 rebounds, but it's like up and down, up and down, up and down. He had a bunch of games where he was 9, 6, 7, 7, and then he went into 12, 6, 16, 3, 14, 16. So, yeah. I think something like that might be nice, right?
Yeah. He's not the most trustworthy fella. That's why you can sense the apprehension in both of our voices here. So, but it's hard to deny this matchup. So I think I still go with it, even though he's let us down a few times recently.
Yeah. Big ringing endorsement here.
Yeah.
As we're both scared to play this guy. Because I don't think either of us have ever won with him. So that's the problem.
Yeah, I think so. But,
right?
Yeah. This matchup, sometimes you just have to, you got to go with the matchups and kind of close your eyes, you know?
Close your eyes and
hold your nose.
I mean, this is a 4:30 p.m. game for you. So, so that's a great time not to watch it.
Yes. We got dinner going. We got all sorts of stuff going. Don't worry about that. Yeah.
If you're thinking about that, then yeah, that's great.
Are you saying I don't have to sweat it out? And
you don't have to sweat this one out.
Of it. Okay.
It's kind of like the Lakers games for me. It's like 10:30 at night. Maybe I watch like the first quarter and then wake up in the morning and see what happened.
Yeah.
So all right, we got the next game. We got I didn't see going back to that one. I didn't see anybody on the Atlanta side. I think Murray was probably the one guy that kept popping out various stats on him. I think he could have a good game, but I think Dallas is not a wise play. So I would hold off.
I think a sneaky play, given the wing matchup against Dallas, I think Bogdanovich could be a sneaky play in this game.
Yeah,
he's been getting some extended runs since he's been back, and I could see him having a pretty good game here. But nothing that we're gonna want to, stake a claim to. So
all right, pass.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. We got the Hornets at the Rockets. These two teams both combined for less wins than either Atlanta or Dallas. They're terrible. 11-34. Going up against 10-34. So it's like choose your poison here. But it is projected to be a high-scoring game at 236.5. Houston is getting 2.5 points. Sharps are on Houston plus the points and under. Oubre and Hayward look like they're going to be out again, and Kevin Porter Jr. is questionable. What do you like here?
Matchups. The number one forward matchup is in this game. That's against the Hornets. So that's someplace to look. And they're also number two big matchup. And then, as we've mentioned in the past, no good matchups pop for the Rockets because every game seems to be get away from them. All the starters play low minutes. So, but that may not be the case in this game, considering how bad Charlotte is.
Yeah.
I can only find one play in this game on the Houston side. I don't know where you ended up.
I struggled. I really was excited when I looked at LaMelo's stats because I think he'll have a big game today.
Mm-hmm.
And what I really liked about him is the consistency. So he has scored 23 points in 9 out of 10 games. Like if you just look at his point, he's like super consistent.
Wow.
Like 23, 24, like 25, 26, but never really falls below 23. I think only 1 out of 10 games. Mm-hmm. But the problem was they set the line on this one at 26.5. So, which I think is starting to get a little bit towards the upper end of his range. So I tried to find something on him, but I wasn't a huge fan of that. So I did look at Terry, who's like the default for us. If we can't find somebody, always look at Terry. So I landed on Terry. Kind of a weird play. 4 assists, which he's done in 8 out of 10 games, and 3 rebounds, which he's done in 8 out of 10 games. Put those together is about minus 135. So,
what was it? 4 assists and what?
4 assists and 3 rebounds.
3 rebounds. Okay.
So he's hit both of those in 80% of the past 10 games. So should be a pretty good result on those two. But
did you look into doing like LaMelo, like 20 points? I see, especially on the road, he gets 4 threes, and he's had 4 threes in practically every single road game they've played this season. I'm just wondering if like a 20-point 4-3.
Yeah, I would do it's
3 threes maybe.
Yeah, I would do 20 points. We'll have to wait because DraftKings, you could only do 24 points on LaMelo. You couldn't get down to 23.
Oh, here, FanDuel, you should be able to.
Yeah, not yet though, right?
Oh no.
I don't think they're going to put the alt lines out yet.
No, but I can get LaMelo 20 points and LaMelo 4 threes. Yeah, they have it.
Yeah, 20 points, but I think that's going to give you bad odds. You're already talking about 12 points coming from the threes. So
yeah.
But I think you can get that up to 20.
Minus 219.
Yeah.
All right, never mind.
So LaMelo is so appealing because I think he'll have a big game, but I just can't find something for. So let's pass on LaMelo. The Terry play I gave, I think is iffy. Not a huge fan of it, but I think it's worth thinking about. Who do you have?
So this guy might fall into the same kind of Christian Wood category. Alperen Şengün, 4.5. Huh?
Yeah, he's been
he's been playing really well.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good player. 4.5 assists. It's minus 155, so not so nice. But you look at his last 4 games: 6, 6, 7, and 10. And to dig even a little bit deeper, one of the games where he had 6 was against the Lakers, which is a prime big man matchup.
Yep.
And the 7 and the 10 was against Sacramento, which is another great matchup for bigs. So in another good one against Charlotte's, like right in between them, the Lakers and the Kings in terms of big matchups. So I think it bodes well for this, but the minus 155 is not so nice. So if you wanted to make it a little juicier, you could tack on 14 points, which he's done in his last 6 of 8 games, and that'll bring you up to plus 105. So 14 points and 5 assists for Şengün. I think that's a pretty nice play.
Why wouldn't you just go up to 6 assists?
Why go up to 6 assists?
Right, he's covered that in the last 4 games. You said,
yeah, 6, 6, 7, and 10,
and that's plus 130.
Just do that.
Just roll with it, man.
I like that. I like where your head's at, Dave. I like this. So 5.5 assists is plus 130.
Plus 130.
That might be the play, my man.
I think so. The only thing I would keep a close eye on is whether or not Kevin Porter Jr. is playing. Right, he might be part of the reason.
Even with him in there, Şengün is like the playmaker for this team.
He's got a little bit of a
Jokic.
They call him Baby Jokic.
Yep.
So he's got a little bit of that like big man distribution thing going. So that's cool. I like that one. All right, let's go with that for this game.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Nope, that's it.
I mean, Jalen Green could also completely go off too. He's
very up and down though.
Yeah, very up.
He
and
absolutely could go off though. Yeah.
If he finds out that Kevin Porter Jr. is about to come back, like if you he's coming back one more game, he's going to shoot like 50 shots.
This team's. I'm a little disappointed in him this season. I was like, I'm a fan of his, and I expected him to like take a step up, and it seems like he hasn't. But it's a hard team to do that with. Maybe I don't know.
Did you saw that video? I think I sent it to you of Jabari Smith.
Talking to LeBron
the other day, and was like, "Hey, did you know? You played against my father in your first game." He was like, "What?" He was like, "Why are you doing this to me, man?"
Yeah.
It's like, don't you feel old?
I feel so old.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I was looking at LeBron today, by the way, not to get off on too much of a tangent, but he's just like, I was kind of comparing end of Jordan's career versus end of LeBron's career, and like LeBron is just like getting better.
Oh yeah, I mean it's so different now. I mean Jordan was like, he was taking care of himself, but not the way LeBron does. You know, LeBron is just a freak. Him and Brady are the two athletic freaks. But yeah, I mean, how anybody is even look at Chris Paul. Look at the fall off he's had this season. I mean, and he's 2 years younger than LeBron, right? I mean, this is the age when you start, right? Isn't he? Or a year younger?
No, I think they're the same age, right? Aren't they both like 38?
I thought he was the draft after. Well, age-wise, but he was the draft or two after LeBron. That's what I meant.
Yeah, he played in He played in college.
Yeah,
so.
they're probably the same age. But,
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how he does it. Plus, he's a big dude, right? So usually fall apart. But anyway, you want to move on?
Yeah.
All right. This starts to get exciting. I really wasn't too excited about the first two games, but we get to Indy at the Thunder at OKC. Both teams are kind of fighting for being relevant. 23 and 22 for Indy, 21 and 23 for OKC. OKC's -4 in the game, and the Sharps are on Indy, and the under 238.5. So one of the higher point totals for the night. Halliburton's still out, but Indy seems to be doing okay without him. So.
Yes, they are. So hold on, I'm just trying to get settled here. So matchup wise, again, you have some good ones here. So against Indy, it's a number 2 forward matchup and also number 2 point guard matchup on the board here. And then wings against OKC has fallen a bit, but still pretty good. And also forwards against OKC is someplace we can look to target. So that point guard matchup against Indy, especially, you said Halliburton's out, right?
Halliburton's out, yeah.
Yeah, so even with Halliburton out, I think it's also might even be better. I looked at SGA assists.
Ooh.
So it's 5.5 assists. It's plus 125. On 2 days rest, he's played 6 games on 2 days rest this season. He's done it in 5. He's also done it in 4 straight games at home on 2 days rest. So I like that quite a bit. I like the idea of tacking 30 points onto that, which he also clears like in every single home game. And you get up to almost plus 250, plus 242, 30 points and 6 assists for SGA. I like that as a nice little bonus there. The other one I looked at is
what was his straight line for the points?
I think 30 and a half.
29.5 minus 135.
Yeah, it's higher though. It's 20. Yeah, props has it at 29.5, but I think it's up to 30.5.
Let's see.
Yeah, so I'll let you look it up. But the points and assists also I thought was nice. 34.5 is minus 120. So something with his points and assists tonight is where we want to be.
I think I like that the best out of all.
30 points, 6 assists, or just the assists, or the points and assists?
The PA.
The PA you like?
I think so.
I mean, because he could just crush it with the points alone.
Exactly.
Given his success, at home and with the extra rest with the assists, it's that can help because he doesn't get there. If you don't look at those 2-day rest and the home splits, his assists lately, I mean, he's only averaging. He's averaging over the last 10. It's under 5. So he's not getting there unless you pull out. You dig a little bit deeper here because all of a sudden, if I click over on 2 days rest now, it's all green. 7, 8, 6, 7, 3, 5.
Yeah. Props.cash I think lines up with DraftKings. DraftKings has it at 29.5 at minus 135. Okay. FanDuel had it at 30.5 at minus 115. So, I think that might be the play.
The PA?
Yeah, I think so. Or do you like points better? Or assists by themselves? Which one?
I might like the... if you look at his last few points, let's just look at his last 10 overall. See, last 10, the points haven't been getting there.
Yeah, the PA is 34.5.
34.5.
So if he puts up 30 points and 5 assists.
Yeah. That might be the play, I guess. I like the juicy third. I like the parlay of the 30 and the 6.
Yeah.
Extra little juicy one. But, maybe the points and assists. We'll go with that one.
We'll figure it out. But I think all of those are pretty good plays. 5.5 assists, 30 points, or 34.5 PA.
Yeah.
All right.
Tell me you had something on Giddey, please.
No, I like Giddey, but I didn't target him. I had somebody on the Pacers.
Yeah, I just have one little one on the Pacers. I mean, it's a great matchup for Giddey. You have the number one forward matchup on the board there. So looks like I just couldn't. I don't know. I couldn't find something appealing enough on him. But definitely a great matchup for him. But let's hear your Indiana pick.
I like Miles Turner, 17 and a half points. So I know Bigs have been feasting against Thunder. I think you said earlier it was mostly forwards, right?
Yeah. I mean, forwards is the number. I mean, they're the number one forward matchup,
right?
But bigs are right there. But what you call it?
Yeah, what I like about him is that in the last 5 games, and probably some of this is Halliburton, and some of this is just I don't know them changing something, but his minutes have gone up to averaging about 34 minutes a game. So his usage is increasing. He's hit this in 5 of the last 10 games, but if you look what kind of corresponds with the 34-minute average, he's hit this in 4 of the last 6 games. So looking at that smaller sample size, it's a pretty good play. His last 2 games, he put up 29 and 30. 30 was the first game where Halliburton was out. So he is, and he had 5 3-pointers in that game.
Wow.
So I just think he's going to have himself a game.
I could see this because he may be getting some extended run now because the trade deadline is approaching very, very quickly, and that would be the reason he's getting some extended run here. So I like it.
They better not run him too much to the point where he breaks down and then people.
This is true, but
kind of reminds me when I was trading in my old car and it was like making some noises and I was like afraid to drive it too far with the guy who was trying to buy it.
All right, we're done now.
Exactly. All right. Are we done, or you got somebody else?
I just had OKC is the worst rebounding team in the league, and you have this good wing matchup. So I looked at Ben Mathurin, who's a wing. Couldn't find something nice here, but the other wing for the Pacers is Aaron Nesmith. If you look at his rebounds over the last 10, it's pretty impressive. His line's 4.5. It's minus 110 going up against the worst rebounding team. And if you look at just to read through the numbers on his last 10 here, he had 1 against Milwaukee. We'll discard that, but then 7, 6, 7, 5, 5, 6, 5. He's crushing it. So
this is
I think
Nesmith.
that's a nice little Nesmith.
Nice.
Yeah,
and he's starting, right?
He's starting. Yep.
That's an interesting play.
Yeah, I actually didn't even look up his split without Halliburton. It's probably, let's see here, pulling it up now. Games without Halliburton. Oh, not as compelling there. He's had 1 game with 7 rebounds, but the other ones were in early December. So, and then that recent game against Milwaukee, I forget, was that that was the game they blew out Milwaukee, maybe.
They were blowing them out. That was just on Monday.
Yeah,
They were blowing them out, and then they ended up giving it up and lost by.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
By like 13. So
this could be a sneaky little play on a kind of a low usage, not a guy that's on a lot of people's radars at a fairly low rebound line. So
yeah, he only gets about 20 something minutes a game. That's my only concern.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, it's not a super duper play. But.
No, we only like super duper plays
okay,
here.
All right, only super dupers.
But that one's interesting.
It is.
All right, let's move on. We got Minnesota at Denver. 22. T-Wolves are 22 and 23, and Denver is 31 and 13. So like crushing it this year. Nice. Nuggets are given minus 8 in the game, and the Sharps are on Nuggets minus 8 and the over 237. So lots of scoring here. The one thing I will say, I'm a first quarter guy.
Yeah.
And I love playing the Nuggets first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll just have you caution you in this game. The Nuggets are the second best first quarter team at home, right? The Knicks are the first best first quarter team. And by best, I just mean by margin, right? So they outscore their opponents at home by 5.3 points, right? So pretty big margin for the first quarter. But Minnesota is also a good first quarter team, and they actually are the best first quarter team on the road, with a winning margin of plus 2.9 points on the road. So you get the best, pretty much one of the best home teams against one of the best away teams in the first quarter. So
interesting.
Could be a complete clash. With all that said, Edwards is questionable. Gobert is questionable. Towns is still out.
Yeah.
Minnesota did beat Denver when they played earlier this year, 124-111. But I'm assuming most of those guys played in that game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to tell what's going to happen without knowing kind of the lineups. But
especially without the two big guns for Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean Gobert, whatever. He's but Edwards is kind of the big question mark.
Especially given, so I'll get into the matchups here. So Wings against Denver has kind of point. I know we were talking about point guards versus Denver for a while there, and I think on the season it's still the number one point guard matchup. But over the last month, actually, Wings have been performing even a little bit better, I believe. So that's Anthony Edwards at the wing position. So if he's playing, definitely a good spot for him. The other one is your point guard and D'Angelo Russell, who I'll get to in a second, but never have a lot of. There's another guy on this list that I feel like I never get right. Don't have a lot of confidence in him, but it's a great matchup. And then on the Minnesota side, forwards against the T-Wolves have been doing well. So that's Aaron Gordon to take a look at. Let me get into. So on the Minnesota side, D'Angelo Russell. He actually, if you look, his home and away splits, his road numbers are actually pretty good. If you look at his last 10 games, at home, he's averaging 17.9 points. On the road, he's averaging 21.1 points. So his line's 17.5. It's minus 125. So if Edwards isn't playing in this game, I would love this. If Edwards is playing, I don't love it as much, but
could be worth rolling the dice, right? Like if Edwards is questionable and he already performs well, you said on the road, most likely with Edwards in most of those games. Then
it's true.
Without him, he's going to probably going to put up a lot of points. And just knowing what Dame just did last night,
great point.
I hate to say they have a similar game because they don't, but they both do like to shoot a lot of threes. So
this is true. Yeah. I think D'Angelo Russell's the worst point guard in the league. Honestly,
you think Tyus Jones is better?
For sure. He was on Minnesota, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Should have kept him.
Should have. So that's all I have on the Minnesota side. You got anything?
No, I got a very exciting play on the Denver side, which
Aaron Gordon rebounds.
No.
Oh.
Aaron Gordon.
Okay.
But I'm going with assists.
Oh.
And maybe rebounds.
So So I have a note here. So I like the 7.5 rebounds. It's minus 110. If you look at the 4 games he's played on a back-to-back this season, 10 rebounds, 16, which happened to be against Minnesota.
Yep.
8 and 10. So he cleared in all 4 games on back-to-backs this season. He also had, I think this is where you were going, he had 6 assists in that game against Minnesota.
Yeah.
Maybe take your Terry play, your rebound assist Terry parlay, and let's put it on Aaron Gordon. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, I basically had that. So my initial play was just keeping it simple. Aaron Gordon 3 assists, which he's done in 7 out of the last 10 games.
Okay.
And his last 3 games, he's had 5, 5, and 8. And as you mentioned, the game against Minnesota, he had 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's minus 140, so not great. But if you put it with 5 rebounds, which he's done in 9 of his last 10 games, so he's almost a guarantee to get 5 rebounds. And knowing that he had 16 against Minnesota.
Yeah, I think you could even go higher. But.
You probably could, but I'll tell you what that is. That's minus 105. So I think that's your base bet. 3 assists, 5 rebounds, minus 105. But you could literally take this up to like 6 and 10.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
Like, I think that's safe as well. So,
so would we play? What about his RA line? Maybe the adjusted RA line is the way to go.
Yeah,
those come out much later in the day, though.
Yeah, I don't know where you get the adjusted RA. You can definitely get adjusted par.
FanDuel will have adjusted RA.
Maybe later.
Later, yeah, it's usually later in the day. Yeah, but
yeah, his RA was, I think, somewhere around 10. Let me just confirm. Rebounds, assists.
Yeah, 10
and a half. Yeah. So that's also probably a really good play.
Yeah, right. If you look at his 4 games on back-to-backs this season, 12, 12, 22 against Minnesota, and 11. So cleared it in all 4 back-to-back games this season.
All right, let's go with that. 10.5 minus 102. You like that?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Oh, it's minus 102? Oh, they have it at minus 115 here. Very nice. I like it.
Where do you... Oh, okay, yeah, minus 102.
Oh, for sure. That's the play.
Now, I also want to make a nomination for the big boy on the roof play.
Okay.
Aaron Gordon, 6 assists. Plus 750.
Wow.
Right? I mean, like I said, his last 3 games, 5, 5, and 8. So he hit it in the last game, was close in the prior 2, and had 6 against Minnesota. So,
all right.
I think that's
grilling.
BB.
What are we grilling? Burgers? Barbecue chicken?
We're grilling a little bit of everything. Shish kebabs.
All right. Even a little pineapple. We like a little pineapple.
Pineapple, but the main thing we're grilling is assists.
Okay.
Big assist burger.
All right. I like it.
All right. Anybody else in this game?
Nope.
Okay. Jokic should go off. I also read this morning, this is pretty crazy. Jokic has 50% of his home games this year, he's had a triple-double.
Wow. Wow.
So,
beast.
Which explains why his triple-double was like plus 135. It's he's
going to win another MVP.
He's the best.
He is.
All right, let's move on. Final game. We get the Kings at the Lakers. This is the 4th matchup of these teams this year. Kings are 24-18, so looking sharp. Lakers are 20-24, just riding that old 38-year-old into the ground. But he's got some broad shoulders. He's carrying them.
He is.
Lakers are getting 4.5 points in this game, and the Kings are the Sharps are on the Kings minus 4.5, and the total, brace yourself, 245.5.
45. Whoa.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest one of the season so far. Or if not,
I would think so. Yeah.
Sharps were on the under. That was a little too much for them. Mm-hmm. But I will say, let me just list off. The Kings won the, I think the first matchup, which was in LA, which this one is as well. Mm-hmm. That was 234 points. All right, so that sailed under. The Kings won the second matchup with 254 points. Wow. So crushed that one. And the last matchup, the Lakers won. The total was 270.
270. Wow.
Right? So these teams are just looking to score, not play defense. All right. There's just one obvious play in this game. I think you're going to be on it.
All right, so let me do the matchups and see if that pops here. Forwards against Sacramento we can look at. So that's LeBron James, more or less. And then against the Lakers, Point guard is the number one point guard matchup to look at. And then also big men have been doing really well. So I'm going to start with the big. I don't think that was the play you were thinking.
No.
I think you were thinking about the point guard play. We'll get to that one in a sec. So Sabonis, 20.5 points. It's minus 120. He's played 3 games on the road on 2 days rest this season, 23, 24, and 25. And then 3 games against the Lakers, 25, 13, and 21. So he cleared it in 2 of 3 against the Lakers. He's done it in all 3 games. He's played on 2 days rest on the road this season in a great matchup for him. I like that. But I might like Mr. Fox a little bit more. If you look at the 4 games that De'Aaron Fox has played on 2 days rest this season, he's had his biggest outputs of the season on 2 days rest. That includes 34 points, 37 points, 33 points, and 36 points. So I think my little note here on the Big Boy Grill and on the Roof was the De'Aaron Fox 35-plus point game at plus 500. I think it has a nice chance of hitting tonight. Yeah, that was where I was at in terms of Sacramento. One other thing to note is he actually has very good rebounding numbers, De'Aaron Fox, on 2 days rest, and his line's only 3.5. So another one just to maybe consider or to tack on to a, if you like his points or something, bring the points down to put with rebounds. His rebound numbers are very good with the extra rest, but I want to see where you were at.
There's nothing wrong with having 2 grills on the roof. You can always.
This is true.
We've done that before.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. No, I liked Fox. That was my play of the game. Just over 24.5 points.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned his stats on 2 days rest, but I don't think you mentioned his performance against the Lakers, did you?
I did not.
Yeah. So the 3 games that I mentioned earlier, he scored 32, 22, and 34. So pretty close to your 35.
Yeah.
He's only hit this in 4 of his last 10 games. If you take it down to 24 points, he's actually hit it in 7 of his last 10 games. So just kind of crazy. He's had 24 points in 3 of those last 10. So you could, if you don't want to go as high as 24.5, you could put 5 assists with 24 points. 5 assists he's done in 9 of 10. 24 he's done in 7 of 10.
Yeah.
That gives you plus 100. But I personally think you just keep it simple today. 24.5 points at minus 118.
Yeah. I like that. I think he's the kind of guy I would also look to do. I love those like the point, rebound, and assist parlay.
Yeah.
What I just said about the rebounds, I like that 24 points, 5 assists, and even the tack on like 3 rebounds. I think that could be
that could be nice.
That could be nice for him. I looked at his him to score 30 points. I thought that was going to be where I went, but that was only plus 180 or something like that.
Yeah, because he's done it twice already this year.
Yeah, so I think the 35 is nice for the big boy. And so if you had to pick, you lean Fox. This is a Fox game, not a Sabonis game.
I'd do both. Honestly, I'd do both of them, and I'd do Harrison Barnes too. Harrison Barnes over 16 and a half.
So hot, man.
16.5 points. So he's averaged 24 points in his last 5. And versus LA, he had 13, 20, and 18. It's like it's going to be 250 points scored in this game, probably. It's like you could play all 3.
I know. That might not be bad. Do a Sabonis Fox parlay. Harrison Barnes has screwed me twice on 2 De'Aaron Fox bets because he got hot and then Fox didn't cash. So I have trouble with Barnes because he's burned me twice.
Yeah, but it's a little. If you're playing both, it's a little bit of a hedge too, right?
Yeah.
Because there's no way there's going to be a game where Sabonis, Fox, and Barnes like all go under.
Yeah. Especially in this game.
This will be the game where it happens because I just said that, but
not with a 245 point total. This seems to be the game.
So I would even contemplate playing 2 out of those 3, or even 3 out of the 3.
What would Sabonis 20, Fox 20? I mean, do you think that's bringing Fox down too much? Probably.
No, that'll still be good because Sabonis is 20.5. So
yeah,
I'd do Sabonis 20 and Fox like 24. Right, yeah. I think Fox will get 24 for sure, and you could even do Barnes 15. Throw those three together, you're probably at like plus 400 or something.
You
like
can do Barnes.
Okay. And nobody on the Lakers side? Staying away from LeBron?
I think it's got LeBron's name written all over it, but his lines, what is it, up to 33.5 now or whatever?
It's getting ridiculous.
Yeah, so it's a little too pricey for me. But.
It'll be really interesting. He's getting like within, I think, 7 or 8 games away from breaking the record. It'll be really interesting what he does when he starts to get within like 2 or 3 games.
Yeah.
Like, because, he's like, there's some. Initially, I thought he was going to try to shoot for the game against the Knicks, which is like maybe 6 games away. But I think he has to average like 40 points a game to get there. So that's going to be a bit much. But, there's a game against Golden State that so he might intentionally sit a game or score a lot one game.
No game at Cleveland coming up, is there?
No. Let me see. Well, I can tell you.
I see him doing that. Oh, we're at 45 minutes already. Look at us.
Yeah, hold on. We'll wrap this up real soon. Yeah, he has Sacramento tonight, then Memphis, Portland, Clippers, San Antonio, Boston, Brooklyn, New York, Pacers, New Orleans, OKC, Milwaukee, and Golden State. So if he averages about 32 a game and doesn't sit, that'll put him right around New Orleans, right around the Super Bowl. So nice. He might break it.
Very nice.
Let's just cover real quick my observations on Memphis.
Yes.
So, a couple things. One is I thought, without diving deep into that game, I thought Bane over 2.5 threes was a good play on that game.
Okay.
He's hit that in 65% of the games this season, 5 of his last 5, and it's minus 135. So I thought that was good. Obviously, Cleveland's a tough team to go up against. But the real observation, Triple J, rebounds and assists over 7.5, right?
Yeah,
was minus 140. He's done it in 11 straight games.
Rebounds and assists. Oh, wow.
11 straight games. You want to know something more impressive?
Yeah.
2 blocks, which is not his line. His line is like 3 or 4 blocks, but 2 blocks he's done in 14 straight games. You want to know why that team's winning? It's not necessarily because of Ja. It's because of this guy.
He's not getting in foul trouble.
He's such a presence. He's huge on the defensive side. Huge on the offensive side. He is such a beast. So anyway, his rebound and assists, he nails 8, every once in a while.
8 all over here, yeah.
And sometimes he has 5 rebounds or 6 rebounds, but gets the assists. But anyway, I thought for something that's happened 11 straight games, I thought minus 140 was pretty good. Pretty good value. So just something to think about.
It's a team. It's not the ideal team to be testing this on. I feel like.
No, but I think Donovan Mitchell's going to be out tonight, so that will.
Oh, Mitchell's not playing.
Not ruled out, but it looks like he's going to sit out. So if he sits out, that really changes the.
I was going to say this is actually the game to. This is a great game to fade Mitchell because I think Memphis has allowed only 1 impact game to combo guards. Yeah. Over the last month or so, I was gonna point that out. We have these matchups and we have some of them that we always look at the high end, but maybe we should. We have some of these where you see some teams like Brooklyn's only had 1 wing have an impact game over the last month. So maybe we start throwing some unders out there, possibly.
Interesting. You've come to the dark side.
I think so.
All right.
That's
it, man. I hit the time limit.
All right. Good work today.
Yeah, you too.